Very good morning and good evening, my dear audience from across the globe. This is Georgie Kurian, who's fortunate to have got the opportunity to be the host and also the moderator for this panel discussion, along with a group of esteemed and highly energetic, highly knowledgeable panelists. Fortunate to be part of the discussion, moderating the discussion here. About myself, I am an information security professional with about 20 plus years of experience, and have been associating with Kerala Police Cyberdome for the past since the inception of Kerala Police Cyberdome. Also, I serve ISRA Trivandrum chapter as the current president, and I work with the fintech organization in the information security domain. Once again, thank you very much for this opportunity. Just to give an introduction about the particular event that we are in. As we all know, Cocoon is we are conducting Kerala Police Cyberdome, and ISRA has been conducting Cocoon as one of the most successful international cybersecurity conferences for the past 13 years, and this is the 13th edition of Cocoon that we are in. And because of the unprecedented situations, we are conducting this in a digital platform now, which gives the opportunity for more people to attend and contribute from across the globe. So, in fact, this is something which has the opportunity has become very good for the big set of audience across the globe. Cocoon has been the platform for a lot of people, including the law enforcement agencies, the security leaders, security professionals, students, enthusiasts, entrepreneurs to come together, share their thoughts, discuss, showcase, educate, understand, and spread awareness over these years. One of the most successful cybersecurity events and most happening events in this part of the world. And one of the core components of Cocoon has been the DomeCTF, the Capture the Flag competition, which is one of the most attractive components of the Cocoon activity, Cocoon event, which is developed with the primary aim to equip the cybersecurity enthusiasts to come forward and exhibit their capabilities and earn recognition as well as all other rewards which comes as part of the event. Capture the Flags and Bug Bounty programs are great platforms for people to come and develop new skills and methodologies. This time, we are conducting the Cocoon event. Cocoon event is scheduled on 18th and 19th of September. And the DomeCTF invitations has already gone out. People have started registering for that. And in the next 1 hour, we'll have a few very eminent, highly knowledgeable, highly renowned personalities who has proven their worth in the bug bounty and capture the flag competitions across the globe, and have identified their positions in the Hall of Fames of many big organizations. And we are fortunate to have them here. And many, like lot of people from like, especially being part of the ISAC organization, I always hear people come, especially youngsters, coming forward asking for like, hey, how do we start with the cybersecurity journey? Where do we start? How do we start? I think this is the best opportunity to to hear from those who have really accomplished their worth in this scenario and hear from them. Definitely, there is an opportunity for the audience to ask their questions, and within the available time slot that is allotted to us, we'll try to have the information and responses provided by the eminent panelists here. With this, let me welcome all of you and also the panel members and all the audience across the globe who are tuning in today to join us for the panel discussion. To start with, we have Jasmine Landry, who is from Canada, one of the most renowned bug bounty hunter and white hat hacker based out of Montreal, Canada. And right now he has turned into a full-time bug bounty hunter and works part-time with his organization, Landry Associates. He is one of the most accomplished and one of the well-known players in this field, has been an active member of various platforms including Buckroad and HackerOne, and has been like recognized as one of the top 15 across the world. He is acknowledged by many organizations including Microsoft, Facebook, Oracle, etc. So we are so much honored to have you here with us, Jasmine. Looking forward to hear from you and all others in the panel.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Welcome, Landry. Next, we have Mr. Arun Suresh Kumar, who is a seasoned information security professional, one of my very good friends, who currently works as a product manager at UST Global, and like very passionate about web security and development, and aims to make the internet safe for all. And like in the young age, he has found his position in the Facebook's Hall of Fame for white hat hackers, and has been acknowledged by various top firms including Facebook, Google, Coinbase, etc. And is a like very known face in various conferences and a good speaker as well, and one of the vital contributors to the Kerala Police Cyberdome community as well. So he's a cybersecurity professional as well as entrepreneur by nature. Welcome you here. Welcome Arun Suresh Kumar once again. Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Next we have Mr. Abhishek Siddharth, very young, charming gentleman who's completing his Bachelor of Computer Applications from the university here. Again, in this young age, he got identified and recognized as an application security enthusiast, focusing on web and Android penetration testing, and has found his way in the Hall of Fame for about 40 organizations, including Google, Microsoft, Apple, Red Hat, and many others. So very happy to have you here, Abhishek. So like to the audience, we have the right mix of panelists here, from Jasmine to Abhishek across the globe, and from various geographies with various experiences. And these are people who have like really got identified, and they have acclaimed that like they have accomplished what many of us are targeting for. So looking forward for your inputs, your feedbacks, your discussion points for the audience here. Once again, welcome you all here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let me start the discussion with a brief introduction of what Bug Bounty program is. Definitely, I look forward from all of you to contribute to that. Definitely add value. So I'll just add play as a guide in the whole conversation. So to the audience, Bug Bounty programs as well as Capture the Flag competitions. We have been hearing these names very often, right? Like again, to the panel. So we know that many organizations, commercial organizations, websites, as well as software developer communities. And very recently, we see many government organizations also coming forward with Bug Bounty programs and Capture the Flag competitions across the globe. where individuals come forward and receive recognition and high amount of compensations as well. So this is something which is a point of attraction to the cybersecurity enthusiasts across the world. So like being part of the professional community of cybersecurity in this region, ISRA, as well as part of the Kerala Police Cyberdome initiatives, we come across so many situations in which people like have a lot of questions on what exactly is CTF. How can me prove my worth as a cybersecurity professional? Where do we have enough opportunities or platforms in which my cybersecurity capabilities can be showcased? How do I start my careers? Where do I start, etc. So I think you will be able to contribute and give clarity and advice all of us in terms of like what is your thoughts on how exactly the path can be taken forward. With this, I'll hand over to Jasmine Landry first to hear from you on what is your thoughts on bug bounty and CTF, and we will have like each one of you spend a couple of times explaining and sharing your thoughts before we go forward with further discussions. And also at the same time, I welcome questions and comments and queries from my esteemed audience here as well. Over to you, Jasmine.
Sure. So for me, well, starting with CTFs, it's a great, it's a great platform to learn new techniques, new skills, and also like to get better as a person as well. So like with CTFs, you get to persevere to try to find the flag. Also, you need to be curious. You need to know how things work and in the background. So you need to research on that. And so yeah, so CTFs is a great place to start because like when you start doing CTFs, like I said, you get to learn new things. You're getting more skilled. And eventually, it can lead to you being able to find bugs in real-world bug bounty programs. Sometimes it's not always realistic with CTFs, but it just helps you get like more creative. It gets your mind to work. So it definitely helps on the long run for bug bounty. Well, for me, anyways, it helped out.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. And in fact, I've read somewhere that the first bug bounty program without not named a bug bounty program started in 1983, and the reward which was given was a Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, and I saw that.
Yeah. And the officially known bug bounty program where the name got coined was in 1995 with Netscape Communications. So like bug bounty has been here for a long time, but at the same time, very recently it got so much glamour and attention across the globe, and it is giving so much opportunities to professionals across as well. Thank you. Over to Arun. Arun, please share your thoughts on on the program and the opportunities.
Yeah, I started doing bug bounty from my college days, when I joined back to college in 2013. So, so I am from a technical software development background. So, but getting into bug bounty is something different for me. That is something like the approach that I should take to develop something is different from, and I learned those things from the bug bounty. So the bug bounty and CTF are something that which will mold your career and get you into a good professional, cybersecurity professional and something like that. Um, so the bug bounty and other programs that I have been participating for the last couple of years was molding me a lot, and that gave an opportunity, visibility in the community. So this is something about the bug bounty thing like that. So now I do participate in CTF. There are companies offering multiple CTF programs. Like Facebook is doing BountyCon every year. So companies like HackerOne, and there are some platforms like Hack the Box, etc., to improve our skills. When I start doing these things, the accessibility to those informations are very limited. There are less number of people are working on community and different things are happening out there. But in this era, like in 2020 or 2019, the things are a little bit changed. Even from Kerala, there are a lot more people are coming to this program, Bug Bounty, CTF, and it's something amazing. Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. And in fact, like I'm fortunate to have met you in one of the conferences like 5 or 6 years back, where that was our first meeting, I guess, where like you were introduced as one of the youngsters who has been acknowledged by so many organizations, and as like later we met in the organization, the same organization where I worked. You joined as one of the at a very young age. You were given you got the opportunity to uh, be to drive some of the new initiatives. Definitely at the time, like you were one of the most like uh, one of the models that I would say for the youngsters at that time, because during that time when most people were searching for an opportunity to get an entry level opportunity in an IT services organization, you by the time you joined the organization, you have already proven to the world that okay, you have claimed your badges, and you were a known figure with many organizations. So that was something which was a motivation for many youngsters at that time. You continue to motivate many youngsters even now. Thank you so much.
Thank
And yeah, over to Abhishek again. As I said, you're currently doing your degree course here. At the same time, you're finding time to uh, like uh, uh, participate in various bug bounty and CTF competitions across the globe. And by this time, you have claimed global recognition as one of the most successful bug bounty hunters. So very
Yeah.
happy to have you here, Abhishek. So over to you. Like we want to hear from you.
Okay. Like Jasmine and Arun has already stated, CTFs are actually the best way to start your way into cybersecurity. Like CTFs helps you to mold the basic knowledge. If we are starting, then the best choice would be the beginner level CTFs like PICO CTF, etc., which actually help you to have a avid understanding about the concepts and how things work. Then after playing CTS for a while, you will be able to do bug bounty hunting. Like it will really help you find real bugs in applications. And there are various bug bounty programs and platforms like HackerOn, Synac, BugCrowd, etc.
So Abhishek, in your career, like when you started, like at some point, like you after completing your 12th, you moved into the degree course. So what was your introduction to this area? Like how did you realize that okay, cybersecurity is one area where which is where your passion lies, and what
Well,
was your motivation for that? At what
actually,
age?
I started doing CTFs by during the time of my schooling, like by high school. And the first CTF I played was PICO CTF, which was a CTF for high school students, and it was quite interesting. Sometime at the beginning, it was a bit hard to get the flags, but when I worked up and when I got the flags, I felt really happy. And by solving each challenge, I understood that I am getting more knowledge. So CTFs will help you learn new techniques, and that's actually how I understood that cybersecurity would be a good choice.
So what I hear from you is, apart from getting the recognition as a bug bounty hunter, and also whatever the recognition as well as monetary benefits that you get, this is definitely an opportunity for gaining more awareness as well, right?
Yeah,
Sharpening your skills on the way.
yeah. Like
Please go ahead.
yeah, we'll be able to sharpen our skills through playing CTFs. And when we participate on bug bounty programs, we will gradually improve. It will also help us to get a good career, as our skills will be more high.
That is good to know. And I'll come back to you because like the audience will be definitely interested to hear more about like what are the technology skills that you started sharpening first, and how you again, what was your career path? What is the path through which you have acquired more knowledge to reach this level?
Sure.
I'll come back to you. Arun, if you can throw more light on where you started and what was your trigger, at what point in life did you recognize that, okay, this is one area where I can excel. This is where this is an area where my passion is. That will be, and also where did you start? Like what type of tools or platforms, or what type of like
Okay.
support
So,
did you get?
okay. I already mentioned that I started doing bug bounty from my college days, and one of my friends introduced to the bug bounty programs. I am from a I like to build things, development and some development coding. That is my passion, and I just got into the bug bounty program by introducing my friend introduced that. So it was a new experience for me. Like I usually code something, but I don't know how to improve the security and something like that. So and I learned from the bug bounty programs, reading blogs, uh, getting into the community, and learn how to improve my code. That was my first initial thought. And how can I improve doing my application secure from the cyber security attacks? So this is how I started. So to a new to the to the newcomers or people to cybersecurity or bug bounty or CTF programs, I suggest or recommend you to read blogs, write-ups, and participate in open programs. Also, get into the community so that you can we can collaborate and work with multiple security researchers that will help and improve your skills. Not only in doing bug bounty programs, and you can also improve. You can also improve the coding skills and what are the approaches that we need to do while coding in a secure way. That is how I started getting into bug bounty programs also. The way of approaching a problem, totally a way of approaching a problem to solve something will be different. Before I before I do this kind of programs, I don't care about security and other aspects. But after participating these things and reading a lot of blogs, I know how much my data or applications are secure in an open internet. So I suggest or recommended newcomers or who are actively participating in these kind of programs on CTF, to collaborate with people, read blogs, write-ups, and participate in level up programs. It will increase, it will improve your competency in cybersecurity, as well as it will also drive to your passion. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. And Jasmine, before we come back to before before I hand over to you, there are so many beneficiaries when it comes to these type of programs, right? Organizations conduct bug bounty programs or capture the flag programs because of a reason. They have an objective. Definitely, there is a reason. There is a certain gain that organizations get out of it. For the individuals or cybersecurity evangelists, definitely there is something that they gain out of being part of these competition. For cybersecurity researchers as well as educations or academicians, they gain a lot out of this. Professional organizations like ISACA, IEEE, all other organizations, definitely they also gain a lot of out of it, because new ideas get explored, discussed, and evolved during this program. So if again, I would like to hear from you. We all would like to hear from you on how you started your career into the bug bounty program, into the security first, and then to the bug bounty programs. And then would like to hear more from you in terms of how different actors in the complete landscape gain out of these type of programs.
Sure. So compared to the other two guys here, I started pretty late. I got into school, I think I was 20. So I started in accounting and realized that it wasn't my thing. So I switched to cybersecurity, or just IT in general back then. after school, I worked as a system administrator for a few years. But then I realized that it wasn't as fun as I thought. I mean, I learned a bit. I liked it at first, but it was really repetitive. But and I was always curious in security, well, in hacking in general. So I decided to do the OSCP certification because I didn't have a clue how to hack, but I did have good knowledge in networking and systems because that's what I did. So I did the OSCP certification. After that, I just kept on learning as much as I could. I did a few CTFs. Back then, I didn't really have any confidence that I could do bug bounty, so I waited like 2 years before I started doing them. But in the meantime, I read write-ups, like Aaron said, like to get better, you need to read a lot. I need to practice. So I did practice a bit back then. I think I forgot the name. I think it was VaultHub, the popular platform, which had many VMs that we could practice on. So did like for like a year or two. I read some books just to get better on the technical side. And then eventually I got a job in security as a junior analyst. So what I did was just run like basic Nessus and Qualys scans and analyze the results and send the reports. And then when I started that job, I also started bug bounty because I figured that now that I have a job in security, it's my time to get better and improve and show that I have good skills in cybersecurity. So after 2 months, I finally got my first bounty from Microsoft. And then nothing, no more bounty for another 6 months, even though I worked really hard day and night, just because I just started out in security, so I didn't have any knowledge. I guess I was a bit lucky with the bounty that I got from Microsoft. And then eventually something just clicked, and then I started getting bounties regularly, and I've been getting a bounty ever since, every month, for like 2 or 3 years now. So just last March, I decided that I was able to live on bug bounty only. So I decided to give my resignation, and now I do a bug bounty full time, and also take some contracts on pen testing once in a while, just to make sure I stay up to date with the in the industry.
That is an inspiration. Getting an opportunity to earn your living by following your passion is not something that many people get.
But it took a lot of hard work, just to say, like it doesn't happen like the next day. Like it's literally like a year of reading and learning nonstop, and eventually it came to what it is now. And so I guess I'm lucky, but at the same time, I'm proud of what I did because it took a lot of hard work.
Really inspirational, Jasmine. In fact, like one of the points that you mentioned, when you switched from accounting to this domain, you started with again learning the system, or like the more from a Microsoft or systems perspective. Mm-hmm. So many people, one regular question that we usually get is when people come out of their engineering college or start their career with IT, like people find cybersecurity as a glamorous domain.
It's like a specialization, kind of.
Like a specialization, yeah. Yes. But at the same time, like there is a question whether, okay, like immediately when I start my journey into this, should I start with cybersecurity, or should I spend some time understanding my basics and building my basics and foundation in either systems or application development or networking, then move to the cybersecurity, so that like I have my basic strong in one of them, so basic strengths built in one of them. So like I usually, during my mentoring sessions, I usually advocate people to start, like not immediately venture into cybersecurity, like start your initial couple of years in one of the foundational areas, then move to more like the specialization. So that like that is something which I think will be helpful in the career in the longer term. What is your suggestion on that?
I agree. Like, I think, if you can get a job right away after school in security, it's good. But at the same time, security is like, is really important for organizations. So if you do one mistake, you can get in trouble and potentially lose your job. While in other fields, they tend to give the opportunity to learn more. For example, if you start off as a developer, you'll be like a junior developer. You'll work on certain projects. And then with time goes on, you'll become a senior, and then you can maybe think about switching to security. That's something for me, like in IT, like I work with Cisco routers and switches, virtualization stuff with VMware, Microsoft, Linux. I work with a lot of stuff. And if I had started with security right away, I probably wouldn't even know how to secure those systems. So with me being a system administrator, I was able to, at the same time, do my job and apply security to what I did. So then when I started my journey in security, I had an idea of how system administrators configured systems so they can potentially bypass their protections. And then I did a deep dive in web applications, which is what I love doing. And the same thing, like having a developer background definitely helps getting better on that side. For like Aaron, you started as a developer. I think it's, if you want to do like web hacking, it's the best thing to do. Like I never really did any development, and I actually started recently doing some courses so that I can get better myself, even though I'm not a bad hacker, let's say. But it just in general, like it helps to get an idea of how application works, how developers would have coded it, so that you can think about how to find bugs in them, because you know what potential mistakes they can do. So yeah, to answer your question, I think it's best to start off with learning the basics and then switch with security, because with the basics applied, you'll be able to apply security to the basics.
Thank you, Jasmine. Abhishek, like one question, like I think you can contribute. You can contribute first. That is on like, what is the right age for people to start venturing into this domain?
Well, actually, like it's not too late for anyone. But
Too late or too early?
Like, yeah, like it's a confusing question. Like there is no right age. Anyone can do it. That would be a best answer.
I understand. So like to like again request like input from all of you. Another typical question that usually comes up is, what are the different qualifications or education, fundamental education, which helps people to start to be successful in this? Like, do you prescribe people to be an engineer, computer science engineer, or like what type of education is the right ingredient to be successful in this area?
Like Jasmine already stated, like if you are able to make up the basic skills like in networking, programming, etc., then like your degree won't really matter. I know some of the other degree holders who are from other background than computer science, and one of them is a mechanical engineer. He has been doing bug bounty.
Got it. I just realized that I have been using capture the flag and bug bounty. The terminology is mixed quite often. So definitely there is a difference between both of them. So if Arun or Jasmine or Abhishek, one of you can just throw more light on what exactly is the difference between all these bug bounty, capture the flag, and also when we say capture the flag, there are different types of events, right? Like something which is conducted by the organizations, etc. So if you can throw more light on what exactly is the difference between these different terminologies, and also different types of bug bounty and capture the flag competitions, that will be helpful.
Sure. So so from my end, so with capture the flag, you have a vulnerability that's been coded on purpose. So you need to find the flag, and then to find the vulnerability. Sorry. While a bug bounty, you don't know if there's a bug or not. You actually have to find it. So there's not really like a flag. So you kind of have to like go. I don't want necessarily guess, but it takes more hard work because you don't know if it's vulnerable or not. So you need to try a lot more things. While in CTF, since you know it's vulnerable, you can kind of be guided towards the potential the vulnerability that leads to the flag. And sometimes something that's cool is the bug bounty platforms actually do CTFs. For example, some programs that actually provide a flag on their server, and if you get access to that flag, then you win the top prize of a lot of money. And the same thing for HackerOne. They do CTFs once in a while. showcase your skills, and which usually leads to an invitation to their live hacking events. So yeah, the difference between those two is that with bug bounty programs, you don't know if it's vulnerable or not, while the CTF, there is a vulnerability on there on purpose.
So Jasmine, one of the questions from the audience is like they would like to hear more about your OSCP experience. How hard was it, and how was your style in the exam, studying, practicing, etc.?
So the OSCP is actually like a CTF. Like you have a lab of, I think they have like 60 virtual machines, and each virtual machine has a file that you need to get access to, and only the root user has access to it. So it's like a CTF. You need to find a vulnerability on all of the VMs, and it's like they simulate like a real world organization. So you have to pivot into certain networks. I think there are like 2 or 3 networks in there in the labs. So you have the VMs that are on Windows, Linux, Unix, anything. There's a lot of different kind of VMs in there, and so you have like a 1, 2, or 3 months lab access. So what I did personally is I took the exam after 2 months, no matter what, if I felt ready or not. So that way I could have experience on the exam and what it was like, so that if I had failed it, I would be able to get better for the next attempt. Luckily for me, I passed it on my first attempt after 2 months. So the exam is you have 5 virtual machines that you need to get into. Each virtual machine is worth a certain amount of points. And you have 24 hours to get enough points to pass the exam. And then after you're done with the exam, you have to write up your report on how you find your vulnerabilities, how to reproduce it, the flag that was for each machine. It's kind of like a real world pen test report. You have to write up all of your findings accordingly, and the Office of Security, they evaluate your report as well. So they read your report to make sure that everything is right and that you didn't really cheat on the exam.
Got it.
So yeah.
Thank you. Another totally like a question primarily from a company perspective. Most big organizations have huge budget, and they have like highly qualified, and they have like usually most big organizations have an army of cybersecurity professionals as part of their like red team or blue team or whatever different color teams that they have. In spite of all that, many organizations still find it beneficial to conduct bug bounty programs, and they keep their doors open to the public, or the security evangelists from across the globe, to come and identify different bugs for them, and they give handsome rewards also for it. Why don't these organizations rely on their own capabilities within the why organizations find it more beneficial to have these type of crowdsourcing when it comes to identifying the bugs, etc.?
I can go.
Yes, please.
Sure. So I think so the difference between like a bug bounty program and pen testing is, like you said, the key word here is crowdsource. You can have skills from anybody in the world looking at your applications, while a pen test or like internal team, you're limited to a certain amount of people. And also the difference that you have with a bug bounty program, you have ongoing testing like going on 24/7 all year long by anybody in the world. Like in pen testing, for example, it's like a test on a specific point in time. So let's say you deploy code later, and the next pen test is only 6 months later. Then you have like a 5-month time frame where your system might be insecure and might not know it. While with a bug bounty program, since you have people testing all the time, you constantly get reports coming in, and you improve your security posture in the organization.
Got it. But at the same time, like all these organizations have huge army of cybersecurity professionals inside, right? So, like, so what you are suggesting, what your thoughts is, like, this is more of a crowdsourcing when it comes to capabilities, where more people working on the on the vulnerabilities, on identifying the vulnerabilities, we get a better results, and some perspective which was not identified from within the organization has becomes unveiled when it comes to more people and experts working on it. Got it. So from a career perspective, Arun, Arun, if you can start sharing your thoughts on from a career perspective, how does these type of programs help individuals to start their career, progress their career, getting more visibility, etc.?
Yeah. So getting into bug bounty, like we have to define a team called responsible disclosure program. There is something called ethicality and responsible disclosure program. So working with multiple company, working on different scopes will improve or getting us know what are the areas that we need to focus. There are web application, Android, iOS, bug bounty programs. There are different kind of network programs. So we will get more details while working with multiple programs and reporting with them. So working with different bug bounty programs will shape your career on a technical aspects. Also, it will give you visibility in the community, and also it will help to mold a person like on their responsibility, how they have to send a report to, or how they have to communicate with a big company or a big organization. There are something like that as well. So it will entirely mold how we should start our career. So also, like I mentioned, like bug bounty is something that helped me to get into a job, and there are I started getting offers and visibilities by reporting bugs to multiple organizations and getting known to community. So bug bounty and CTF are some of the ways that we can shape our careers. Yeah.
Got it. So in between you mentioned, Jasmine.
I was just gonna say the same thing for me. Like bug bounty, it really helps your visibility into getting a job. Like ever since I got good in bug bounty, I've been getting getting offers on a regular basis. So it definitely helps in terms of getting more visibility into getting a job in security.
Got it. Thank you. And Arun, in between you mentioned about the vulnerability disclosure policy or responsible disclosure of vulnerabilities. So that brings to a point. If somebody who is interested to build their career in cybersecurity, startups start sharpening their skills and reach a point in which they have identified some good vulnerability in one of the well-known platforms. So like take the case of Facebook. So is it okay for the person to publish it to the world? That okay, I have identified this particular vulnerability in this platform, which can be exploited using these methods. Is it okay to publish it to the world, or is there any particular channel that need to be followed when we make such disclosures?
Yeah, Josh, we have to follow certain policies or disclosure requirements while participating in bug bounty programs. We already accept those things. So we have to wait until the bug got fixed before disclosing to somebody or an internet or something like that. So we have to follow those critical pieces while participating in program. I can give an example. There are people who are treating this bug bounty programs or hacking or something like in an ethical way, and some other people are there in society that they are not doing in an ethical way. So bug bounty programs have strict policies, like we have to follow their responsibility disclosure things. Like we have to we don't have the permission to publish the reports unless and until they are agreed to us to yes, you can publish a blog or something. Yeah, so we have to follow those kind of policies while participating in this open bug bounty program. So
these are sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I have an example. One of my bug record regarding a page takeover. Like they fixed it in less than 6 hours by Facebook. So if I published before fixing those bug, it will affect the entire working Facebook. Like, so we have to maintain those policies while participating in the party.
So there are some case studies which are available in which, again, one of the first um, a similar vulnerability which got identified in Facebook. When the person initially started, when for the first case, when they what I've read is the person who identified the vulnerability reported the issue to Facebook, but he was turned down and he was not given the due respect. And finally, he ended up publishing that in one of the public forums, which got wide attention, resulted in like that particular vulnerability getting exploited even before Facebook was aware about that particular issue. That like they could fix that issue. So you mentioned about the policy that okay, when a vulnerability is identified and reported, we have to wait till the vulnerability is fixed before we proclaim to the world that something has been done. So is there a universally accepted policy or a framework that need to be followed, or are these policies specific to the organization? Like Google published, okay, this is my policy with respect to like identifying vulnerabilities or identifying bugs in my platform. And Facebook has a similar, like Facebook or like some of the organization has got a different platform. So is it like organizations define their own policies, or do we have something like a universally accepted policy or framework for this?
Actually, like the organization itself defines the policy, but the main thing is that all the policies are mostly common. The common point is that the bug should not be disclosed unless it's fixed, and some programs even require you to get a consent or permission from the security team before publishing your report.
So where do you report these type of issues which are identified? Like does organizations do organizations publish a particular email ID or a particular handler to which you report these type of issues, or do we need to wait for the organization to uh, to to publish a bug bounty exercise for reporting this, or is it something which can be done any time?
Well, currently, most of the organizations have a responsible disclosure program set up, like Google, Facebook, etc. And you can submit through its portal. Google has the Google VRP and Facebook has the White Hat program. But when we compare other organizations, they probably have a security disclosure page which lists their security team's email. Through that, we can communicate with them and report it.
Thank you. I was going through some of the questions which have come up which are shared by the audience here, and I don't think time permits us to answer all the questions. But I'm taking the question which is coming very often and again and again. It is primarily people need guidance on where to start. Are there platforms or are there specific events or specific starting points? So if you can share your thoughts on, like, take the case of a person who is getting into this journey. Where do we start?
Actually, the best starting point would be CTFs, and after that, if you have to start Bug Bounty, then Hackathon and Buckroad actually has resources. They both have a guide to start. That would be the best resource to start, according to my opinion.
CTFs are conducted by various organizations, and Cyberdome CTF is definitely something which is gaining so much traction and attraction over the past many years, and I'm sure the DomeCTF is going to be an excellent opportunity here. Apart from this, are there more simpler or entry level CTFs which can be prescribed to those who start?
PICO CTF, and for Indians, actually there is in CTF.
Mm-hmm.
PICO CTF is actually a high school level, beginner level CTF.
Got it.
Yeah, a good starting point.
Another point is, just wanted your thought on something. Like for people who want to build their career in cybersecurity, definitely the type of technology skills is something which is very important. And the other part, personality traits, which helps people be more successful than others when it comes to bug hunting, penetration testing, etc. Like something that I have found very useful is, okay, people who are more inquisitive, have the research mentality, definitely they gain a lot. They stand more in a more advantageous position compared to like others. So likewise, you might have noticed some personality traits which helps people to be more successful than others in this race. What is your thought on that? Like Jasmine, if you can share your thoughts on, okay, like what are the personality traits which typically helps people or something that need to be developed?
So I think you need to be creative, because sometimes you have to think like out of the box to find the bug or vulnerability. For example, one of the best bugs I've seen from a friend of mine, he didn't even use, so he was on a web application, and he didn't even use burp, and he got awarded $50,000 US, because it was just such an amazing bug, and it was just so simple to find, but nobody else looked at it. It was there for 12 years, but he just was creative enough and thinking out of the box to actually think about it and test it out and found it. Also, you have to persevere as well. You have to be perseverant, because sometimes it takes like 8-10 hours to actually find a bug, and so you can't give up, because if you give up, somebody else is going to find it. So like I said, you have to persevere in what you're trying and what you're attempting. And yeah, I think you have to be curious as well. You have to be curious on what you're looking at, so that you can research more on it and learn more about it. For me, I think those are good personality traits that you need.
Thank you so much. And Abhishek and Arun, would you like to add to that in terms of like the qualities or personality traits which definitely help people?
Well, ethics and persistence would be another quality. Like when we play a CTF challenge, we have to be persistent. Like sometimes we will get stuck, and we will have to have the mentality to not give up.
Yeah. So adding on that, like we have to be more curious about how people are building those things, or a platform, or how our counterpart is coding or doing their development activities. Also, dedication and passion are the two other things that a bug bounty hunter or a CTF player should have while playing or doing participating in this program.
And one more thing, you have to be willing to learn and take the time to learn. If you're not patient and you want to do something right away, it might not be for you, because sometimes it takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work to actually learn something and deep dive into it. Like for me, like I worked really hard for a couple of years to get to this point, and yeah, so you have to be patient, I think, to do CTFs, because like Abhishek said, like you have to be persistent in what you're doing, because you think you can get stuck, and if you're not patient, you're just gonna give up. And yeah, so I think you have to like be patient, take the time to learn and persevere and be persistent.
Got it. And specifically coming to the DomeCTF, I'm sure like everybody in this panel have been part of the DomeCTF for the past many years, have been like the participants or the organizers definitely. So if you can throw more light and your opinion about how people can benefit out of it, that is something which will definitely help, because like right now we are in the process of like receiving all the applications, and there are so many people sitting out there thinking whether, okay, this is the right platform for me, etc., etc. So if you can throw more light on that and the type of success stories which has evolved out of this over the past many years, that will definitely help.
Okay, getting back to the DomeCTF, like I do have participated in multiple times in the DomeCTF. So the best thing I have experienced is something called collaboration with my friends or team, so that I can learn new things from them and they can learn new things from them. So, and of course, DomeCTF, the challenges are very hard. So each level, there are different kind of challenges and things. So the collaboration and learning new things, that helped me a lot in my career as well as in my my bug bounty and CTF programs. Yeah. Collaboration is one of the best.
Got it. And again, I was doing some reading in terms of the success stories from bug bounty programs and CTFs across the globe, and there is some geographical pattern as well, which has been consistent over the past 3 to 4 years. US tops in terms of the number of researchers who submit like valid bugs, and India comes second, and Trinidad and Tobago comes as in the third position. So like that has been consistent. So like, do you think it has something to do with the type of like support that we get from the government, or the type of like is there anything which is contributing to that from a nation perspective or a region perspective? Canada is another player which has been another country which is in the top 10. So at the same time, there are so many other places where again there are like we have so many IT organizations, etc. At the same time, these are the regions from which we have maximum number of like valid bugs which are getting reported. Is it because of the type of visibility or the type of promotion that we get in these regions?
Yeah, maybe, because I'm thinking like in Canada we have a few programs at school that are cybersecurity related, but they're pretty new actually, like for maybe 5 years. And I'm not sure about how the situation is in India and in the US, but I know in the US they have some cybersecurity programs as well, because obviously I know some people who go to those schools and they're in cybersecurity. So I think having a school with security programs definitely help. So I'm not sure if you guys can talk about the situation in India, if you have programs in cybersecurity. I'm assuming you do, because there are so many of you guys who are actually doing bug bounty and CTF. So yeah.
So again, thank you so much for that insight, Jasmine. As a closure note, again, we have very limited, like the time amount of time which is given to us is very finite, very limited. So I think we have a few more minutes that we can take. So like as a closure note, if all of you can, like each one of you can share a couple of thoughts as a guidance on for the youngsters who are venturing into this, on like again on where to start, how to start, and your one-liner advice to them, that will be really helpful. Definitely when all these panel discussions, definitely, and as well as the presentations, the interaction doesn't stop here. Definitely people will reach out to us asking for your coordinates to connect with you, to understand more, to get your mentorship in terms of building their career. So I hope you are open to that. At the same time, like as a closure note, if you can share your 1 or 2 liners, that will be really something that definitely the audience will value a lot. I'll start with Abhishek. Like Abhishek, if you can share your thoughts, and especially like career options which are available for freshers is another area where I think you'll be the right person to give more insights.
Well, for freshers, cybersecurity industry actually offers a lot of roles like security analyst, malware analyst, and security engineer, etc. And various other roles related to red teaming and blue teaming are also there. Such roles would really like India actually has a lot of openings in various companies for the role of cybersecurity engineers. And for the third part, I think the best way is to start with beginner level CTFs and then move on to the intermediate ones. Also, to do bug bounty, the best thing you could do is to read write-ups and learn, because it gives you a lot of new ideas. That's all.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. Arun, over to you.
Yeah. So in this new world, like knowledge or data is not limited. Everybody can learn from internet, doing searching on YouTube, blogs, and some other sources are there. As we can learn more new things daily, on a daily basis, we can get new information across the world. Like so, I and as George mentioned about the India and the culture and like and opportunities that as a bug bounty hunter or a ethical hacker or like that. So I believe India is one of the youth dominant country. So I can see there are a lot more people reporting bugs from India, even in Google or Facebook. There are more people from across India are participating, and we are one of the best high paid in second or third. Like we are the most highest paid country in multiple programs. So follow them, follow their blogs, write-ups, participate in bug bounty programs, collaborations, and join communities will help to mold the careers. So that was the closure note I can give.
Thank you. Jasmine, with your closure note, I would like to add here, like we all will would like to hear your thoughts on the future of CTFs as well, because you have been in this domain for a long time. So definitely you must have got the opportunity to see how this is evolving over this time. So definitely you might be the best person to give insights on how exactly at least like give some thoughts on how exactly the CTFs are evolving. What is the future of this?
I think the future is great. So when I started, there was only like I knew only of one platform that I could test on, or one or two maybe. And now there are so many platforms you can actually practice on, and I think it's only going to evolve and get better. So I think a lot of more people are doing security because it's a big demand in organizations, and I think there are other startups and companies are starting to create CTFs even in the interviews. So just like practicing on those platforms is great. I think the future is just going to get better for CTFs because you're going to have a lot more people, a lot more platforms to practice. And yeah, I think the future is bright for security in general.
Thank you so much. One last question from me. Like, what is the impact of the current scenario, the COVID-19 pandemic? Like, all of us are locked within our home, or like the mobility is highly restricted, and the industry economy has got its own impact here. At the same time, what do you think is the impact on the security domain? Like, has it limited the opportunities or has it expanded it?
On my end, from what I noticed personally, is actually it expanded because now employees need to work from home, meaning that they need to access remotely systems that were only accessible internally before. So now they need to make sure that the internal system that they had are secure because they're now externally facing on the internet publicly to anyone. So in general, this is what I noticed, and for me. So yeah, I think I've been more busier since the COVID started, both with bug bounty and work, especially work, because I wasn't planning on doing a lot of work. I was planning on doing bug bounty full time, but since March, I've been really busy at work, and so yeah, just because of that, they actually had a few pen tests where it was actually on systems that were internal. They had pushed it to a public IP, so they wanted to make sure that the system was safe and secure.
Thank you. That's a good insight. Abhishek, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, like I have noticed that the participation of bug bounty hunters in platforms like Bugcrowd and HackerOn has actually increased very much during the COVID pandemic. Some of them are actually finding more time, so they can participate more on bug bounty. Also, that they can actually utilize this time to increase their knowledge.
Got it. In fact, like I would share the same opinion. Over the past 5-6 months, have been seeing heightened activities in terms of security related discussions and more business in the security domain. And like again, like a lot more activities from a security profession perspective. And recently I was speaking to one of my close friends, and he was mentioning about a particular researcher who was spending 30% of his time, like he's a full-time employee of an organization, 30% of his time on bug bounty activities alone during this time. And during this time alone, like he was amazed with the amount of opportunities which has come up, like something definitely is an eye opener, because everywhere people say the jobs are going down, the industry is getting affected. At the same time, the opportunities in this area are coming up. So like I'm sure the last 1 hour has been very very much rewarding for all the participants, as well as for me as a listener to 3 of you. You have shared wonderful insights, very valuable thoughts, and again, when I say valuable thought, that is backed by your experience and success. So thank you so much for your inputs, and definitely, like, we are all aware, and we all realize that, okay, capture the flag, as well as bug bounty programs is a very good avenue to sharpen the skills, get your skills visible to the world, get more career opportunities, get more rewarded, etc. So with this, thank you so much to the panelists. Thank you so much to the audience, and and everybody, please have a stay safe time ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you.